Welcome back into the Gators Online Show. We're now joined by our guest of the week, Florida offensive lineman Austin Barber. Austin, appreciate you joining us this week, man.
Appreciate you having me on. I'm excited.
Absolutely, man. Obviously, we got a lot of ground to cover. You guys are in phase one, in the foundation phase right now, getting it in with those workouts. But let's obviously kind of start with this past season. You know, obviously a big year for you. You got in the starting lineup, a lot of experience. Just kind of what was your takeaways from this past year and especially what it meant for you?
I feel like for me, it was just finally what I've been dreaming for, like coming in, not playing my freshman year, then going in playing damn near 700 snaps. It's a big adjustment, but I feel like it just set me up for this year coming up, just a lot of experience, I know how it is now in the SEC in games and stuff. So I just feel like I'm excited.
How were you preparing and ready to step in like you did?
Just sit behind guys I've been playing a while. Richard Garage played 4 or 5 years, started 4 years. Just watching those guys and how they go about it, and I feel like I'm decent at football, maybe a little bit, but I think it's just trying to go in there and bust my tail day in and day out.
What were some of the biggest things that you learned from the guys that were ahead of you, especially your redshirt year?
Just how to do it right. There's just extra work after practice, eating right, training room. Big thing was training room. Just keep your body as healthy as possible. That's what I learned the most.
We talked to you during the season, and you were talking about like a 6-pack, maybe a 4-pack.
I'm working on an 8-pack right now.
Let's go.
Turn me up.
Let's go.
Turn me up.
Athletes on the line.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you guys are going through a foundation right now. We'll kind of get into that, but you made your first career start against South Florida. Austin, take me back to that week, that game. When did you know that you were getting the nod? What was your kind of emotions like going into that, and how did it feel kind of trotting out there for that first series?
So I knew I was getting it in the Kentucky game because obviously Michael got hurt. He tried to come back in. He couldn't put pressure on that ankle. I was like, oh, shit, here it goes. But that week of practice it was kind of scary a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Just you're in there, let it start and roll the whole time. Just you're the guy. I just felt like, I guess I put myself in that position to be ready, and I felt confident.
That's awesome.
Did you have a moment where you were like, yeah, I can do this. I belong here?
Yeah, it was in the Kentucky game. We ran a outside zone play, me and Sabo, and just dominated the 4-eye and the linebacker. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be real fun.
That's awesome, man. And then obviously you guys go through the season. The offensive line was one of the best position groups that we saw from the Gators this past year. What was it like just being a part of that unit, getting to start on it, and then playing alongside the guys that you did?
I think it was phenomenal. A bunch of those guys aren't here anymore, and I feel like it's just there's a bond that will never be broken with those guys. And just feels good to know that maybe the whole team didn't have the best season, but O-line, like the main part of like the team the position that keeps the team together was playing the best, and that's what felt great for me.
How much pride did you take in that, and what do you feel like were some of the successes that you enjoyed the most, whether it was the run game that you guys got going with Montrell and Trevor, or obviously some of the plays that Anthony made?
Man, I take a lot of pride in this. This is what I do. I live in the trenches, and just there's some games that we ran for over 200 yards. It's just like we know we were dominating the people in front of us. One game I'll say is South Carolina. We absolutely just mauled them boys up front.
Was there a couple moments in that game where hands on hips, or you saw you guys had basically just defeated them?
It was first quarter, like when first or second quarter they weren't ready for it.
You've got a mean streak. Like you seem like a nice kid talking to us right now, but on the field you've got bad intentions, I think.
Yeah, I can turn it off and on.
That's awesome, man. And obviously, that's what they're looking for in this program. We know the premium that Coach Napier and this staff puts on the offensive line. For you, what's it like to play on an offense like this that definitely values that position and definitely tries to kind of build the scheme around it?
I think it's just great for just us, because at the end of the day, if the O line's not liking the plays or not feeling good about it, how are we gonna start the game off? You know what I mean? And I'm just happy that he puts all of his trust into us and our decision. You know what I mean? Like on the field and stuff like that. It's just phenomenal knowing a guy that just loves O line.
Definitely. And then for your position coaches, obviously a different setup this past season with two guys. What do you feel like that did for the room? You guys already had a really good offensive line in 2021. I feel like it got even better this past season.
I think it's just having two different, voices, because they say the same thing, but like it comes off a little bit different. You got like the yin and the yang, you know what I mean? It's just some people, prefer to hear from one guy, some people prefer to hear to one guy. I feel like that's how it like all comes in together faster.
Which one do you prefer? Who's your favorite? They're not going to listen. It's fine.
I can't say it. They're both my favorite.
You know somebody will tag them on Twitter with the quickness, Nick.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. Someone will snitch.
What do you feel like either one or both of those guys have they kind of helped bring the best out of you, and what were maybe some things either just in your preparation or just certainly some of the ways that they've developed you that you feel like helped you take the next step this year?
Just being in my ear 24/7, kind of trying to be like an older veteran guy when I'm still like a redshirt freshman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were texting me day in and day out, getting the film room during spring ball when they first got here. Get in the film room, watch film, go through all the stuff so you can be prepared. And then when fall camp hit, it just clicked, and they saw it click, and they just kept helping me put all my pieces together, and we're still putting them together now. But I think we did a good job last year.
Now, on that note, what are some things that they've kind of highlighted for you that they want you to see you work on this offseason and just kind of take your game to the next level?
Just some footwork stuff there. I have some issues with some things in the outside zone game that I got to fix, and then just being in the pass game, just being more upright, don't lean and stuff like that. Just simple stuff like that. It's not hard to fix.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're muted, Nick.
You guys have 27 new scholarship players on campus. What has that been like? That's like a quarter of the team.
Yeah, it's trying to learn everybody's names is hard, just because you see a different face, new face every day. But I know I'm happy for those guys to be here and just come into the program, because I know they're all the right guys. You know what I mean? I feel like we've got a group of guys that just want to work and want to win and want to be there. So that's all I want to. That's what I want to play with. Well,
Billy does that. Know your teammate, right?
Yep.
You have to where they're from, city, state, and name. That's a little harder this spring, though.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot harder. I need to study that sheet he's gonna give us. Roster sheet.
Now, one of those guys that you got to know this past year was Osiris Torrance. Yep. We'll kind of hit on all the guys that moved on, but specifically Cybo, from your perspective, what was it like playing with that guy? Why was he so elite? And just seeing him earn that brick, what did that do for you? Maybe
he made me look good in a bunch of plays we ran. Just playing next to him, I'm telling you, he's been in the offense for 4 years. Just knows exactly what to do. I mean, it's just crazy how he came here from UL and still did the same exact thing. I wouldn't expect a lot of guys to do that, but he was a guy that I seen for spring ball. I was like, yeah, he can play with the best of them.
And then obviously you guys also lose Michael and Ethan. So you and Kingsley are only starters coming back. Obviously, in a in most years, like pre-transfer portal, you lose that many starters from the offensive line, you're kind of like rebuilding.
Yeah.
You might have to rely on some like younger players to step up. You guys basically just reloaded in the portal,
Yeah.
bringing in all these transfers. What's the feel like just in the O-line room about, that turnover that's happened, but also where you guys are at, and certainly with you and Kingsley leading that charge?
I feel like, I think we brought in the right group of guys, brought in just guys that have been playing that know, that's been on the field, been playing and stuff like that. So it's like we're not trying to throw some guys out there that have never touched the field, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's what gives us, me and Kingsley, the confidence, just to know that we have guys to play next to that are really good.
No doubt.
How well have you gotten to know them? Anything
Yeah, I
about
mean,
them personally, their game?
just I watch him work. Micah, me and him are pretty cool. He was the first guy that I met. Me and him hang out sometimes. But he's a hard worker. We do a bunch of football stuff after our runs and stuff, and he's a hard worker. And then Damien, he's a good guy. We just go in there and work. I mean, all of us, me, him, Keontae, and Micah, we all try to put some work on the field. Just because they're trying to learn the offense now. So it's just they're learning right now.
And then during the portal process, like how involved or in tune are you with what's going on? Like, do they ask you to talk to any of those guys? And are you like, yo, man, I need you, like we're losing some starters, or do they land those guys and you get to know them after the fact?
Know the few guys that, yeah, I knew Micah on his, I guess he was on his official here.
Yeah.
I hosted John Campbell. That's the only portal guy that I hosted, but it's kind of cool just seeing guys that have played. Like John Campbell played 3 years at Miami, and then Micah played, I guess, 2 years at Baylor. It's just cool to see some different guys that are not like on the team already that's been playing in the NCAA.
No doubt. And then we're wrapping things up here with Austin Barber, Florida Gators offensive lineman. We spoke with Billy yesterday, Austin. He said it's a lot of fun to come to work right now for him and the staff, just because of what's going on with the foundation phase and all the kind of new blood in the on the team, so to speak. One thing I think is interesting about the makeup of the team now is like everybody that's here like wants to be here. Like, last year it was a brand new staff. You guys are getting to know them, not necessarily sure if it's the right fit. You're trying to build trust. And then obviously this past year, a lot of guys decided to move on. Yeah. Now you're like starting a new chapter, and everybody that's on the team, whether they're returning or whether they just joined, like they want to be here. They committed to these coaches. Can you feel the difference in that, or how much of a difference do you think that can make because there's that level of buy-in?
No, I feel the difference just every day when our runs and our lifts, they go after. I mean, there's not a lot of guys that slack off. I mean, if they do, it's because something's going on, like they're hurt or something like that. Sure. But those guys want to win. Those guys want to, they came here for this staff, and I feel like they want to win a championship, and I'm excited for it because, I stayed. I love the staff as well, and I want to win.
Is foundation easier this year?
The lifts are harder, but the runs are more tuned for the big guys.
How was going through that phase in the new Heavener Center different, or how does that just make things more efficient for you guys?
It's the easiest thing ever. Instead of walking the mile, I guess I consider it a mile because I'm a big guy, but walking the mile from the stadium to the practice field, it's literally like park my scooter, walk in, get some food in there, go to the locker room, and the weight room gone. 2 seconds. It's just so efficient. We just get in and out.
That's awesome. I don't think I would make it out of my locker. I would just like recline that zero gravity chair and I'm out. Knocked out.
There was early morning lifts. I sat in there one time. I was like, do I really want to lift today?
Pretty comfortable here.
Oh yeah.
How often are guys just knocked out in their lockers?
You can see about half the team in there with their Normatec boots on, towel on their head so they don't see the light, knocked out. It's the funniest thing.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. And final few things for you, Austin. A new guy that recently joined the team that pretty well from Duval, and that's Treyon Webb. What do you feel like Florida fans can expect from him, and what's it like just to see him joining the team?
I'm excited for Webb. I mean, me and him been playing together since I was a junior, he was a freshman, and just I got to know Webb at a personal level. I mean, I feel like he's my little son. I used to drive him around before he had a car in old Jacksonville, but I'm excited for him. He's a hard worker. He wants to be here. He wants to win. I mean, you see the film that he's put on in high school. I mean, I feel like he'll do the same thing. He's big, fast. I mean, can run people over, can juke people out. I'm just excited for him.
Talk about those car rides. Are you like picking them up for practice or helping them out?
Taking him home sometimes. Going to take him to get food from the school. Just being like a little Uber for him.
Did you have any idea back then that this guy was going to turn into a top recruit and be a Florida caliber player?
Oh yeah, I mean you can see it every day. I mean, he came into practice, did what he had to do, just looked good. I mean, and then you can see on the film. My freshman year or his freshman year, I guess he got injured in the game, but he was taking a kickoff to the 1 yard line. That's when he got hurt. But dude's a beast.
How involved were you in his recruiting process? Were you on him at all a lot, or do you feel like he was going to be a Gator?
No, we got lucky. I think we got lucky. I mean, I don't think every time I talked to him, he had no interest, with the old staff, but new staff came in and ate him up, and I was there in his ear every time I went home.
That's awesome. I think Nick gave him the title of recruiter of the class.
He got after it.
He easily recruited half those guys in that class too.
His tweets are incredible. He might have one of the best Twitter accounts on the team.
No doubt. He knows what he's doing.
Well, obviously, Austin, to wrap up, you guys, now turn the page on 2023. You got your spring game set. You got a state date for practices to start. Where are you at just, confidence-wise in this team? Obviously, a lot of new pieces on offense. Like, what can fans expect from you guys in 2023 and what you guys are coming with?
I think we got a chip on our shoulder this year, like people are always putting us down every week, but we're going to be sneaky good. I think we're going to be a dark horse in a lot of categories, and I'm excited for this team. I'm excited for what we do. I mean, I'm ready to put the ball down in spring ball and see them boys work. I'm ready to get after it with them.
There's a lot of circle teams, a little revenge tour.
Oh yeah, we lost a good bit. We lost a good bit of teams this year, so there's a lot of teams I want to beat.
Final thing on some of the new pieces, Austin. What's just been your early impressions of Graham Mertz and that quarterback battle that's going to play out with him and Jack?
Oh yeah, he's a hard worker. I mean, me and him chop it up all the time. Me and him are boys. It's pretty cool. Like he came in and me and him started becoming buddies, just doing stuff outside of football. But he works hard. He does everything right, and I think him and Jack are going to battle it out and just give us it's going to be a show, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a lot harder than people think.
And then you mentioned out of football before we let you go. I know you're busy right now between workouts. You're taking 5 classes, but it is the off season. When you do get some downtime, what is Austin Barber doing with his free time?
I'm either golfing or just playing video games. I'm a big fan of golf. I'm not very good at it, but I love to swing the club a little bit.
What's your best score?
I shot a 90 in Tennessee.
All right.
Not bad.
Not bad.
I'll take it.
I think Sale will get out there on the golf course with you.
Well, I know he's good. I went out there one time at the team course, and one of the workers goes, "Yeah, he comes out here and shoots under 80 every day." He's like, he's the best UAA golfer that they have right now.
Rob Sale is?
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Yeah.
Don't tell him that. He's just gonna boost his head.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even want to ask him to play. I don't even want to ask him to play.
Well, he's gonna ask you to play. There's no doubt about that. And listen, man, we're looking forward to you playing more for the Gators this coming year. Best of luck, certainly with your spring semester, but also with the fall as well. Appreciate the time, man, and we'll see you once these practices get started up.
No doubt. I appreciate y'all having me on.